takes about a minute. Oh, there we are. We are live on YouTube. So I'm going to wish everybody an Erev Tov, a good evening, and a Shabbat Shalom. It is good to see so many of you here in all of our different ways, whether it is here on Zoom or on YouTube. We're going to turn to our cantor, and we're going to turn in Mishkan Tefillah, the Shabbat version. Maybe you have a paper copy at home, maybe you have a copy from the internet, either the free one available from the CCAR or the discounted one available from Amazon. But we're going to turn to page 10 as we join with our cantor in singing Hine Matov.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So good for us all to be together.
And in that same copy of Mishkan Tefillah, we turn to page 12. Page 12, as we join in singing Psalm 95, Lechu Neranena.
Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, Adonai. Naria, naria, letzur yishenu, nekan mafana betoda. Naria, naria, letzur yishenu, bismira naria lo. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, Adonai.
Turn to page 2 as we prepare to light our Shabbat lights. Perhaps you have waited to this moment to light your own Shabbat candles. If so, I encourage you to go to prepare to light them alongside our cantor as she leads us in the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu
We turn now to page 20 as we prepare to welcome the Sabbath bride into our lives with the singing of Lecha Dodi, verses 1, 2, 5, and 9, remembering on the last verse to rise and welcome Shabbat HaMalka, welcome the Sabbath Queen into our homes, yes, even into our homes as we let that taste of the world to come into our lives. Once again, Lecha Dodi is on page 20.
We introduced this melody for the first time last week during our service which acknowledged the commemoration of Juneteenth. So this melody comes from the Abba Yudaya community of Jews in eastern Uganda. And it is very catchy. And so if you haven't heard it yet, you will catch on. And I invite those who've already heard it to sing emphatically so I can see your mouths moving so I know that you are singing with me. Lecha dadi likrat kala hene Shabbat nekabela Lecha dadi likrat kala hene Shabbat nekabela Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad Yishmianu el hamyachad Adonai echad Shemo echad V'shemo tiferet v'litila Lecha dadi likrat tekala Hene Shabbat nekabela Lecha dadi likrat tekala Hene Shabbat nekabela Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha Ki mekor haberacha Meirosh mikadem nesucha Sof ma'aseh b'machshavat techila Lecha dadi likrat tekala Pene Shabbat nekabela Lecha dadi likrat tekala Pene Shabbat nekabela Itoreri Kiva orech kumiori Uri shir daberi Kibor Adonai alayich nigla Lecha dadi likrat tekala Hene Shabbat nekabela Lecha dadi likrat tekala Hene Shabbat nekabela Bo'i v'shalom ateret bala Gam b'simcha uv'tzola Toch emuneh am segula Bo'i chala Lecha dadi likrat tekala B'nei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dadi likrat tekala B'nei Shabbat nekabela.
We can all be seated. And we'll continue on page 29. Page 29 at the top of the page. There is one who sings the song of his own life, finding everything within himself. There is one who leaves the circle of herself and sings the song of her people. There is one whose voice rings with the song of humanity, hoping for the highest perfection. And there is one who rises even higher, uniting with all creatures, with all worlds, filling the universe with song. Nevarech, let us bless. And let us bless on page 28 as we rise for the Baruch Hu.
Yai nai nai, yai nai 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 nai. Yai nai nai, yai nai 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 nai. Yai nai 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 nai. Yai nai nai, yai nai 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 nai. Yai nai 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 nai. Yai nai nai, yai nai 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 nai. Yai nai 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 nai. Yai nai nai, yai nai 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 nai. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Yai nai nai, yai nai 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 nai. Yai nai nai, yai nai 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 nai. Yai nai 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 nai. Yai nai nai, yai nai 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 nai.
You may be seated as we join together in page 30. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chochma poteach sha'arim, uvitvuna mishane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umesader et hakochavim b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono, borei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil ben yom uven layla, Adonai tzavaot shemo, El chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. On page 32.
Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha ahavta Amcha ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadita Otanu limadita Akein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochvenu U'kumeinu nasiach b'chukecha V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha U'b'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed Ki hem chayenu Ve'orach yameinu U'vahem nege yomam v'layla Nege yomam v'layla Ve'ahavatcha al tasir Mimenu le'olami Baruch atah Adonai Ohev amo Yisrael Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Shem Kevod Malchuto
We continue with the Ve'ahavta on page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם בארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Let's continue with the English on page 41. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. Michamocha is on page 40 as we join together with our cantor.
Yappa pa bim bida bam, yappa pa bim bam, yappa pa bim bida bam, yappa pa bim bam. Ay 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 ay, yappa pa bim bam. Ay 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 ay, yappa pa bim bam. Mi chamocha bailim Adonai. Mi kamocha nedor bakodesh norati lodo sefele norati lodo sefele yappa pa bim bida bam yappa pa bim bam yappa pa bim bida bam yappa pa bim bam ay 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 yappa pa bim bam ay 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 ba bim bam ma'alechutecha ra'u banecha okay ayam לפני משה ומרים זלי יענו ויאמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד יפה בם בם יפה בם בם yappa pa bim bada bam yappa pa bim bam ay 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 yappa pa bim bam ay 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 yappa pa bim bam.
On page 42, we give thanks for the night and its rest and the promise of peace that it brings.
Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'Hamideinu Shomreinu L'Chayim Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'Hamideinu Shomreinu L'Chayim. Spread the shelter shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu Elishalom, V'hamideinu Shomreinu Lechaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu Elishalom, V'hamideinu Shomreinu Lechaim.
We join together in Vishamra on page 44.
Shamru v'nei Israel et Shabbat, la'asot et Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. V'shamru v'nei Israel et Shabbat, la'asot et Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Beini uvein bnei Yisrael, bnei Yisrael, oti le'olam. B'shamru bnei Yisrael et Shabbat, la'asot et Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. V'shamru b'nei Israel et Shabbat, la'asot et Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. U'vayom ha'shvi Shabbat v'yinafash, Shabbat v'yinafash, Shabbat v'yinafash. Shamru b'nei Israel et Shabbat, la'asot et Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. V'shamru b'nei Israel et Shabbat, la'asot et Shabbat lidorotam berit olam.
Spiritually, physically, we rise for the Amidah, Adonai Sfatai on 46, Avot v'Imahot on 48, Gevorot on 50, and the Takadosh on 52.
Adonai sifatai tiftach, ufia kitehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora. El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim. B'konei hakol. V'zocher chasdei avot v'imahot. ומביא גאולה לפני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל. מקלקל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, תומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש השמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
We may be seated as we turn in our prayer books to page 60, and as we turn in our hearts to pray for peace, for real peace, peace in our city, in our country, in our world, a peace that emerges from justice, that emerges from all of God's creatures recognizing that we are created in God's image and must treat each other as such. Page 60 for Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav, O Yisrael Amcha, Kasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Kasim Leolam. Ki Adon Melech Adon, V'chol HaShalom. Ki Adon Melech Adon, V'chol HaShalom. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Kasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Kasim Leolam. B'tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael, b'chol עת ובכל שעה, בשלומך. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
We turn to page 253, and we think of those in our community who are in need of healing, a healing of body and a healing of spirit. We think of all those who are suffering from COVID-19 in our little state and around the world. We think of those in our own community, those in our own inner circle who are in need of healing. If there are those you are thinking of who are in need of healing, I invite you to share their name out loud, to share their name in the chat on Zoom, to share their name as a post on our YouTube link as we join together, praying for all of them, praying for healing.
May thy source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu v'kol habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We offer up whatever prayer the heart may prompt. we're going to transition now to our Seder Kriyat HaTorah, and I'm going to ask Jeff Margulies, who has been doing tech support this evening, to go ahead and share his screen of Parashat Korach. And there it is, Parashat Korach. A famous parsha, and one that we got to study a little bit. Well, this past Wednesday, we studied sort of around it. Tomorrow, we're going to study the text itself. But this is, of course, one of the famous rebellions, one of many in the Torah, against Moses and against God. But this rebellion in so many ways is different. When you think of the rebellion of the golden calf, the rebellion of the spies, there was real fear on the part of the people, and it came up from the bottom. The rebellion of the golden calf, that was a bottom-up rebellion, fear over Moses having gone up the mountain and not come back for 40 days. The fear generated from the spies, as the spies, having just entered the land, spread calumnies, I love that word, among the people, saying that there was no way they were going to conquer the land, the Israelites themselves getting more and more anxious. But this rebellion is different. This rebellion is top down. And as we explore it, we're going to see what so much of the problem is. So we're going to make the bracha for Torah study, la'asok b'divrei Torah, and then I hope you'll forgive me as I do my best to read this. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. V'yikach Korach ben Yitzhar ben Kahat ben Levi v'Tatan v'Aviram b'nei Eliyav v'on ben Pelet b'nei Ruvain. And then Korach took, Korach being the son of Yitzhar, the son of Kahat, who was a Levite, along with Datan and Aviram, who were the sons of Eliyav, and On, the son of Pelet, who were of the tribe of Reuben. Vayakumu lifnei Moshe, and they arose against Moses. Vanashim mi b'nei Yisrael, chamishim v'matayim nise'ei edah, kari'ei moed, anshe Shem. And they rose up along with 250 leaders, princes of the community, people with a name, people of renown. V'yikhalu al Moshe ve'al Aharon, and they gathered against Moses and Aaron, and v'yomru, and they said, alehem, to them, Rav lechem, you have made yourselves too great. Ki chol ha'edah kulam kedoshim, uvetocham Adonai, for the entire community is holy, and God is in our midst. Umadua tit nasu al kahal Adonai. Why do you make yourselves leaders? Why do you put yourselves over the whole community? V'yishma Moshe v'yipol al panav. Moses heard this, and he fell on his face. And if you want to know more, you'll join us tomorrow morning at 9:30. And thank you, Jeff Margulies, for doing tech support on that. Should you ever be allowed to enter my office again when all of this is done, all this insanity is done, or if you are on a Zoom with me and I'm in my office and you look over my shoulder behind me, you will see a poster hanging up. It is a poster of logical fallacies. These are flaws in reasoning that are deployed to try to strengthen a weak argument. We're probably most familiar with the idea of a straw man argument, setting up an idea only to knock it down, even though it bore no resemblance to what was actually being discussed. But there are so many others as well. Appeals to emotion, no true Scotsman, the slippery slope, false cause, and so many more. I got the poster back in 2016. I actually got two of them. There's one upstairs in my home as well. And I find it to be a useful teaching tool for B'nai Mitzvah students as they're working on their Divrei Torah, but it's also useful for me, so that when I'm making an argument or when I'm in a dispute with someone, I don't become so focused on winning that I lose sight of learning. Why do I bring that up? Because logical fallacies are essentially strategies for winning an argument, which implies that the purpose of an argument is to win. That is, one side emerges victorious, having scored the most points, and the other one slinks home in defeat. It doesn't matter, if that's the case, whether the arguments are dishonest or hurtful or miss the point entirely. All that matters is scoring those points. All that matters is winning. As if we are all members of the Cobra Kai dojo in Karate Kid. Take no prisoners, show no mercy, sweep the leg. But the very nature of logical fallacies underscores the real purpose of a debate. The purpose is not to have some kind of cheap intellectual exercise or to show off one's expertise or cleverness. Rather, the point is to arrive at the truth. That doesn't mean the conversation won't get challenging, hopefully for both participants, and perhaps it will be deeply challenging. Perhaps it will get to the core of one's own identity, one's own assumptions of how the world works. But again, the goal isn't to win. The goal is to be able to come forward with intellectual curiosity and honesty, and to be willing to quote unquote lose in order to gain greater and deeper understanding. Trying to reach the truth means trying to understand the experience of the other, to stretch ourselves past our own limitations of perspective, and to better understand our obligations to one another and the world. This kind of disagreement, by the way, is at the heart of what it means to be Jewish. Yes, we joke that part of being Jewish is our enjoyment of arguing. We take great joy in arguing. But those arguments are not, at least they shouldn't be, just for their own sake. They are at the heart of our study of our tradition, what is called a machloket. That real study of our sacred tradition, our sacred text, requires that two people are studying across from each other, and they push and they challenge each other. Again, not to score points, but to arrive at a better understanding of how we fulfill our sacred obligations that we call mitzvot. No matter how challenging the conversation, the two parties have to be able to come away respecting and caring for one another. That has a special name in our tradition and is called a machloket l'shem shamayim, a disagreement for the sake or in the name of heaven. And that leads us to our text. Korach, Moses and Aaron's cousin, challenges Moses' authority, but the challenge is based on deeply flawed logical fallacies. They accuse Moses and Aaron of grandizing power, of lording it over the Israelites, of making themselves in charge, when we know from the very beginning that they didn't want the job, that they were appointed by God to do this. In making these arguments, in essentially gaslighting Moses and Aaron, they tap into a vein of disgruntlement among the leadership of Israel. We read right at the beginning, V'yikach Korach. Korach took. Well, what did he take? It doesn't have a noun there. V'yikach Korach. What did he take? Rashi fills in the gaps for us, and we saw it perhaps in that translation that went across the screen. He takes himself. That is, he separates himself from the community. He doesn't raise his objections out of a place of learning and curiosity, or even out of a deeply held belief. It's not that he really cares about whether Israel is holy or that God is in their midst. He removes himself in such a way that learning and understanding are not possible. He just wants to win. He wants to win the argument, he wants to win power, and he is willing to be intellectually dishonest in order to do so. This is the textbook definition of the opposite of a machloket l'shem shamayim, a disagreement for the sake of heaven. Needless to say, there are a lot of korachs in our world right now. People who want to win the argument because losing the argument means recognizing that some parts of our worldview, or perhaps even our actions, are doing more harm than good. And that's a deeply uncomfortable feeling. The person who offers so kindly to play devil's advocate on the internet is not interested in deeply understanding your perspective. He just wants to win, because otherwise he might have to confront the reality of his actions. And so we see over and over again people, and maybe even us as well, relying on logical fallacies to avoid the self-reflection and education that emerges from real machloket. And we should be clear, the temptation is always there for us to become korach ourselves, to fall so in love with our own ideas, our own perspectives, our own belief that our experience of the world is the only one that's correct, that we deny ourselves the possibility of growth and maturity. We deny ourselves the holiness of learning. I've shared before one of my favorite stories, shared with me by Rabbi Michael Marmer, on my first day of rabbinic school, which is why I keep bringing it up. It's been a very impactful story. CJ, you might hear it too from Michael Marmer at some point. That in every encounter, there are two angels, the angel of winning and the angel of learning. And only one can prevail in any conversation. I would add that today, if we commit to the angel of winning, it is not only to our own detriment, it is to the detriment of all. That pushing to win the argument, to scoring those points, is more than just an intellectual exercise. It can prove to be harmful. It can prove to be dangerous. Certainly it was for Korach and his band. Our task then is to make sure that when we engage with others, it is always for the sake of heaven. Our hearts open to learning, our hearts open to the other, even if we might lose. For we know that in losing, so often, that is where we find growth. May it be so, as we say, Amen. Our service will continue on page 282 in those prayer books of ours, whether they are virtual or paper in our hand. Page 282, as we rise for Aleinu L'Shabeach.
Aleinu L'Shabeach L'Adon HaKol L'Tet Gedola L'Yotzer Breshit Shelo Asane Kegaya Aratzot V'lo Samanu Kimishpechot Adama Shelo Sam Chalkenu Kahem V'gor Aleinu Kecham Monam V'anachnu Korim Umishtachavim U'modim Livnei Melech Malchei HaMelechim HaKadosh Baruch Hu V'ne'emon V'chaya Adonai L'melech HaKol Haaretz Bayom Hahu Bayom Hahu Yeh Adonai Echad U'shemo
We may be seated as we turn in our prayer books to page 294. Page 294. Adonai Natan v'Adonai Lakach, Yehi Shem Adonai Malach, Adonai. God gives, God takes away. Blessed be the name of God. If you are in the first 30 days of your mourning, the period of Shloshim, I invite you to rise at this time. If you are in the first year of your mourning, I invite you to rise. If you observe a yahrzeit, the anniversary of a loved one's passing, I invite you to rise. And if this Shabbat, you are remembering all those whom only we can remember, the martyrs of our people, those who have died of injustice, those who have died of COVID-19, I invite you to do so as we join together in Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, v'yalmad yivrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechon uv'yomechon, v'chayedecho Beit Yisrael, v'agalah v'yizman karev v'imru Amen. Yehi Shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olam me'al maya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei d'Kudusha b'richu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, ta'amiran bi'alma v'yimru Amen. Yehi shalom araba min Shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru Amen. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at the season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. We remember Irit Guter, Eileen Connor, Zelda Wasserman, Joshua Baumel, Anita Bryant, John Detweiler, Eric Glenn, Mark Hershen, Robert Kramer, Anna Lander, Melvin Leonard Littman, Jane Lowy, Linda Denise Margulis, Morris Nolly, Marshall Pallas, Arthur Pesco, Morris Pfeffer, J. Lewis Simon, David Snyder, Sylvia Snyder, Lois Stape, Dale Weiler, Jacob Wolfsheimer, Manuel Zinman. And if you have a name to add, feel free to do so on the chat or name them privately to yourselves, or on YouTube, if you're there, place it in the comments. See Nick Regulus, and looking on YouTube. For those we mention out loud, for those we mention to ourselves, for those we mention in our hearts, Zichronam livracha, may their memories be a blessing. Amen. We may be seated if we are still standing. Many thanks again to Jeff Margulies for running tech support tonight. Very, very helpful and important. Thumbs up right back at you. Wonderful thanks and Yasher Koach to our cantor for leading us so beautifully in music and song. There we go, words are hard. Torah study tomorrow at 9:30 via Zoom. If you want to join us for that. Link is on the front page of the website, or it is on Facebook, on our Facebook page. Would love to study Korach with you because it's a wonderful, crunchy Torah portion. While adult learning on Wednesday nights have paused, Mariv continues once a week on Tuesday nights. Zmirot continues once a month on the first Friday of the month, which happens to mean it'll be next week. And we've got a couple of other interesting, wonderful things coming up, including a Havdalah and concert with Nefesh Mountain, that bluegrass Jewish band. Yes, that's a thing. And as well, an opportunity to have a meet and greet with Kehilat Harel and its clergy. Both of those are coming up in a couple of weeks, so hope you will join us for that. With that, we join together with our cantor, closing out our service in song as we sing Olam Chesed Yibaneh. May we build this world with grace and love.
Ooh.
Shabbat Shalom. For those who have been participating via YouTube, we're going to bid you farewell and Erev Tov and Shabbat Shalom.